The escape pod's life support systems wheezed their final breath as Commander Zara Thorne floated in the vast emptiness between stars. 3 days had passed since the Covenant attack on her research vessel, 3 days of rationed oxygen and fading hope. The small craft's hull creaked against the cosmic cold, its emergency beacon long since depleted of power. Zara pressed her face against the porthole, watching distant stars blur together as consciousness slipped away. The irony wasn't lost on her, a xenobiologist who had spent her career studying life in impossible places, now becoming another casualty of the endless void. Her research on the Kepler station had been so close to breakthrough discoveries about symbiotic alien organisms, work that could have changed humanity's understanding of life itself. The Covenant had arrived without warning, their sleek vessels cutting through space like silver daggers. The religious zealots viewed humanity's expansion into their territory as blasphemy, and they responded with characteristic brutality. Zara's research station had been defenseless, a scientific outpost never meant for warfare. She could still hear the screams echoing through the corridors as plasma fire tore through bulkheads. Captain Morrison had shoved her into the escape pod himself, his uniform singed from laser burns. "Get the research data out," he had commanded, blood trickling from a gash across his forehead. "The galaxy needs to know what we found here." The pod had ejected just as the station's reactor went critical, the explosion providing cover for her escape but also leaving her stranded in an uncharted sector. Now, as her oxygen gauge flickered between red and dead, Zara clutched the data drive containing 3 years of research. Microscopic organisms that could survive in pure vacuum, creatures that fed on cosmic radiation, symbiotic partnerships that defied every known law of biology, all of it would die with her in this metal coffin. A shadow passed across the porthole. Zara's eyes snapped open, adrenaline cutting through her hypoxic haze. At first, she thought it was hallucination, the mind's final desperate attempt to find hope where none existed. But the shadow moved with purpose, growing larger against the starfield. The ship that materialized before her was unlike anything she had ever seen. Massive and angular, its hull bore the scars of countless battles. Gun ports bristled along its flanks like the spines of some deep space predator. Most remarkably, painted across its bow in faded letters, were the words UES Retribution and below that, the unmistakable insignia of the human colonial navy. But that was impossible. Human warships hadn't ventured this far into Covenant space since the armistice was signed 5 years ago. The Retribution's design was clearly military, but not from any fleet Zara recognized. Its technology seemed more advanced than standard colonial navy vessels, yet somehow familiar. A bright beam lanced out from the warship, bathing the escape pod in brilliant white light. Zara felt the pod's hull vibrate as tractor beams locked onto her craft. Through the communications array, a voice crackled to life, human, speaking perfect standard English with an accent she couldn't quite place. "Escape pod, this is the UES Retribution. We're bringing you aboard. Prepare for atmospheric decompression in Bay 7. Tears of relief streamed down Zara's face as the massive ship's docking bay opened like a mechanical maw, revealing rows of fighter craft and personnel in environmental suits. The pod settled onto the deck with a soft thud, and she heard the hiss of atmosphere equalizing. The airlock cycled open, and a figure in a captain's uniform stepped forward. He was tall, weathered, with eyes that held the weight of too many battles. Most shocking of all, his uniform bore no insignia of any known human government. "Dr. Thorne, I presume," he said, extending a gloved hand. "Captain Marcus Reed, UES Retribution. We've been looking for you." As Zara stumbled from the pod, clutching her precious research data, she couldn't help but wonder, who were these mysterious humans operating so far from home? And more importantly, how did they know to find her here, in the darkest corner of space, where hope had nearly died among the stars? The answers, she suspected, would change everything she thought she knew about humanity's place in the galaxy.